Hi, welcome to a Vinyasa flow practice. My name is Kaylee. We're going to start this practice seated. So when you're ready, you can join me in a comfortable seat. The only real prop you'll need is a nice sticky surface to practice on. So yoga mats are great for that. I'm getting really interested in shoulder health. And so some of the practices that I'm going to be teaching over the next handful of weeks are going to be kind of me exploring how we can take really good care of this complicated joint in the body that ideally has a ton of range of motion. But the trade-off for all of that range of motion is sometimes we don't have as much stability as we might like to keep that area, keep that joint space nice and healthy. So just know ahead of time, take good care of yourself. I'll try and give some modifications. And as with every physical practice, take what you need, leave what you don't. So grab a seat when you're ready, let your eyes soften or close down. As you bring your gaze to one spot or close the eyes completely down, allow your attention to start to heighten around the other sensory experiences. Maybe your sense of sound gets a little clearer as you close the eyes. Maybe the sensations in your body, this proprioceptive sense or our interoceptive sensation becomes a little bit clearer. And as that happens, if you notice that happen, see if you can just gently refine your alignment. So you're not straining to sit up taller, but you're just using that new awareness, new insight to find a little bit more length in your spine, a little bit more space between each vertebra. And we'll stay here, either bringing your hands onto your lap, or if you'd like, you can join me in wrapping your hands around your ribs, just to use that contact, that tactile sensation of the hands against the rib cage to feel more present with your breath. So we'll take a nice long inhale through the nose. See if you can feel your ribs expanding out to the sides, whether you've got your hands there or not. Hold the breath just for a moment, and then let it go. Let's do one more big breath like that. Inhale through the nose as if you could lengthen up the crown of the head toward the ceiling. Keep breathing in, keep breathing in. Pause at the top. And then let it go. It's time to blink your eyes open, reach your arms up over your head. Use your arms to find a little bit more length. Interlace your fingers except for the thumbs and then press your palms toward the ceiling, but try not to tip your chin upward. So we're still keeping the neck nice and aligned with the rest of the spine. Breathe in, rib cage pulls away from hips, sit points anchor down into the floor. And then exhale, bring the heel of your right hand outside of your right hip. Push the heel of your left hand actively toward the ceiling. Give a little micro bend maybe in that elbow as if you're pushing into an imaginary, like a glass ceiling right there. See if you can feel the obliques light up. And then switch sides. Really push the heels of your hands away from one another. Alternating side to side. So it's more active than just a side bend. There is a little bend happening. There is a little lateral flexion happening. That's the side bend action of the spine. But we're lighting up the obliques, lighting up the side of the waist instead of just arcing the spine over to one side. Keep going like this. Nice, easy movement with deep oblique activation. So effort and ease for 3, 2, 1. Keep the right hand up and then bring your right hand over the top of your head. You can crawl your left fingers a little further away from you, but keep pushing the heel of your left hand down to open up through the right side body. Take a long inhale. And then sweep the heel of the right hand down, left arm lifts up, drape that left forearm over the crown of your head. You might even take your eyeballs up slightly to the left. And take another long inhale. And then exhale, find your hands and your knees here. So we're gonna come to our tabletop position with your knees underneath your hips and your wrists under your shoulders. Start to draw some circles with your body. Try and find a lot of space in your lower backs. We're not finding that cat-cow just yet. And then switch the direction of those body circles. Feel that you can shift your weight toward your fingertips and toward your feet. Now come through neutral. And then keep your ribs, keep your head still. Just articulate your tailbone into your cow stretch. So tilt your tail toward the ceiling. And then keep going slowly. Let your lumbar spine collapse a little bit, belly drops down. Move that extension into the middle of your back and then between your shoulders. And then finally, start to tip the chin up, extending through the neck, maybe opening the throat. Take a big breath in. Start with your head. Exhale, your chin tucks toward your chest. Keep going round the shoulder blades away from the mid-spine, middle back, lumbar spine. Tailbone tucks last. Belly button pulls inward and upward. Let's do one more. Really articulate from the tailbone. Slow, slow, slow. Get present in every little spot of your spine that you can find. Pausing at the top, take a breath in. Start with your head, long exhale. Tuck your chin to your chest, push the floor away with your hands, round the shoulders away from your spine and tuck your tailbone. Let's smooth that out. Come into cow, nice long inhale. Try not to overthink it anymore. And then cat pose on the exhale. 2 more times, move with your breath. Big inhale. And a long breath out. Come forward, back to your quadruped position, and then tuck the toes under. Push your hands into the mat, and then just hover your knees up off of the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees back down. Find cow, breathe in. Neutral spine, maybe a tiny tuck of the tailbone. Exhale, lift the knees just an inch up off the mat for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees drop, cow pose, breathe in, stay on your toes. Exhale, neutral spine, lift the knees for 3, 2, pull your belly to your low back, 1, drop the knees, last time, cow pose, breathe in. Downward facing dog this time. You can keep the knees bent for a moment, pedal it out. Spread your fingers out nice and wide and feel that you're kind of gathering up your yoga mat, like you're trying to bunch your yoga mat underneath your hands to pull some of that effort into the forearms. Take the right leg back behind you, big stretch back behind you, and then bend your right knee. Find some external rotation in the right hip. Let's draw some circles with the right knee. Bring it toward the left knee, over toward the right side. Switch the direction of those circles. Notice if there's any areas in your right hip that need a little extra gentleness or support or stability today. Keep that right leg up, keep the knee bent. We're gonna walk the hands toward the back of the mat for a bent knee standing splits. You might bend your left knee quite a bit. It's early in the practice. My left hamstring is not interested in the deepest stretch possible, but really point your right knee upward. Stay here or tent your left fingers. Stay there or reach your left hand to couch your right foot. Getting right into it today. If you caught your right foot with your left hand, let's go ahead and gently release the left hand. Standing split, right leg straightens out, and then walk your hands back to the top of the mat so you're in 3-legged dog. Take a breath in, really reach through your right toes, and then exhale, right knee to your right tricep. Step the right foot outside of the right pinky finger, set your left knee down, and then sweep the right arm up and open for a dragonfly twist. From here, we're going to take that right arm straight forward toward the space in front of you, and then let the right shoulder kind of hunch up toward your right ear here. Right palm faces the left side of your space, and right thumb points upward. Stay as you inhale, really let the right shoulder blade pull away from your spine. And then exhale, backstroke that right arm, rotate your right palm to the right as you stretch back behind you. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, let your right shoulder move forward. And then long exhale as you backstroke, right shoulder blade comes down onto the back of your ribs. Maybe you bend your left knee for a bind. You smooth out your breath. We'll just stay here for another cycle of a long inhale. A slow exhale. So the breath is long, but it's strong. Reach your right arm all the way forward. Plant the hand underneath your right shoulder. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee, and then find a high push-up position. From your high plank, We're gonna drop the knees straight down so you're in a kneeling plank. Shift forward just a little bit, and then bend your elbows straight back. Your upper arms are really close to your body, but they're not necessarily squeezing inwards. We're in a kneeling chaturanga. Option to lift one knee, maybe the other knee, maybe both knees. I'm gonna keep both knees down here. Take another breath in, and then lower all the way down to your chest. From here, point your nose at the mat, come onto the tippy toes, or the tops of your feet, excuse me, onto the toenails, and then bring your arms into a W so that they're just hovering over your mat. You're gonna take a breath in and peel up a little bit higher. As you exhale, keep your ribs the same distance away from the mat, but bring your right elbow toward your right hip. So it's a little rotation to the right. Come back to the center, take a breath in, pull the shoulders up and together, and then exhale, drop all the way down, forehead or nose to the mat. Let's do that again on the right side. Lift the chest, lift the head, lift the arms, breathe in. Exhale, right elbow toward your right hip. Let the ribs move to the right. Inhale, back to center, lift. Exhale, lower the forehead and the nose. One more time like that. Breathe in. Rotate to the right as you breathe out. Take it back to center. Inhale. Lower down. Exhale. We've got 3 on the left. Lift. Breathe in. Move left elbow to left hip. Back to the center. Inhale, lift. Exhale and lower. 2 more times. Breathe in. Hinge to the left. Back to the center, in. Exhale to the mat. Last time, press your hips down, breathe in. Left elbow toward left hip, breathe out. Back to center on your inhale. Lower down on the exhale, tuck the toes under. Press back to your hands and your knees, and then back into a child's pose. Stay here, take one big breath in through your nose. And then let it go. Slide forward, back to hands and knees, toes tuck under on the in-breath. Downward facing dog on the exhale. This time the left leg's gonna lift, put a bend in your left knee, and then find some of those circles with your left knee. So although we're moving the knee, what we're looking for is some activation in the left hip socket. Switch the direction of those knee circles. Really moving that synovial fluid around, waking up all of those mechanoreceptors in the joint space so you can move safe. Kick the left leg back, bend the left knee, and then walk your hands back toward your right foot for your bent knee standing split. Notice if your balance feels a little different on this side. For some of us, the right leg might be a little stronger. For me, it's a little weaker today. Just gathering data without getting really judgmental about it. And then you can tent the right fingers or maybe reach your right hand to see if you can catch your left foot. Remember, we're never forcing anything. I was working with a private client this morning and she came to the session and she said, you know, I'm noticing the more I force things, the stiffer and tighter they get. It's like a Chinese finger trap kind of. If you caught the left foot, go ahead and release your right hand. Left leg straightens out a bit. And then walk the hands to the top of the mat so you're in your 3-legged dog. Breathe in, reach through the left foot and toes. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Big step with that left foot forward. Woo, drop the right knee down. Left arm reaches toward the front of the room. It's one of those days where my body's just kind of like working with a little bit less juice. Let that left shoulder blade move toward your left ear, move toward your left hand. And then we're gonna rotate that back stroke, letting the left shoulder melt down onto the back of your ribs. So feel the left shoulder blade squeeze toward your spine. Reach the arm long again, big breath in. And then sweep it back, stay here or catch a bind with your back foot. And breathe into where you feel like you could use a little bit of energy. And exhale, let some of that obvious tension dissipate. If you caught the back foot, release it. Bring that left arm forward on an inhale. Bring the left hand under your left shoulder as you exhale. Right knee lifts. High push-up position. Stay here, take a breath in. Exhale, drop the knees and lower your chest halfway down for your chaturanga. Flip onto the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. This is only an option, you never have to take this. And then downward facing dog. Maybe you drop the knees, roll over your toes, and press your hips back. Take one nice cleansing breath. We're gonna get going here in a second. And stay for the exhale. When you're ready, lift the heels, look forward. Take a big step or a bunch of baby steps to the top of the mat. Feet will be about hips distance apart. Wing your arms by your sides for your halfway stretch. Feel the shoulder blades pull down toward midline. Feel the pinky fingers pulling toward one another. Stay long in the sides of the neck. Breathe in. Interlace your hands at your lower back and then bow forward as you breathe out. Keep that bind. Release the hands to the shins this time for a halfway stretch on an in-breath. And then catch the calves as you exhale. Tuck your chin to your chest, push through the balls of your feet. And roll all the way up to standing, reaching your arms up, grow long through the side body. And then bring your hands to your heart. Let your eyes close or soften your gaze onto the tips of your fingers. Whatever you need for your practice, whatever you need to take care of yourself, to honor your body, whatever you need to avoid, like self-criticism or breaking yourself down in favor of building yourself up physically and mentally. So you can call that in, plant it in your heart, so it's like a seed that can direct your practice. We'll take a deep inhale, bringing that into every cell in the body. Open mouth exhale, offering it up. We'll blink the eyes open, reach upward on your in-breath. And then bow forward, long exhale, catch the calves, hug it in nice and tight. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. Plant the hands, step back, high push-up to low push-up. You can use your knees or not. Cobra or upward facing dog. Take a breath in, feel the shoulders melt down your back. And then down dog on the exhale. Pull your navel to your lower back so that hip hinge is strong. Stay here, breathing in. And breathing out. Just one more Surya Namaskar A. Look forward, lift the heels, step to the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Chest to thighs, breathe out. Go all the way up, grow tall on the in-breath. Bring your hands to your heart center as you exhale. Reach up, big breath in, strong legs, look toward your thumbs. Bow forward on the exhale, gaze toward your shins or your navel. Halfway stretch, set your eyeballs at the top of the mat or just a little bit in front of it. Plant the hands, keep your eyes there as you step back, high plank to low plank on your exhale. Upward dog or cobra, breathing in. Downward facing dog, big stretch back with your hips. On an inhale, we're gonna take that right leg high. And then as you exhale, bring your right knee to your nose this time. Give it a little squeeze. Step your right foot between your thumbs. High dragonfly, so keep the left knee lifted. Sweep your right arm up and open. And then feel that you can kind of pull your right hip crease back a little bit as you squeeze the inner thighs toward one another. Lift the pelvic floor and engage the navel center so your abdominals are pulling inward away from that right thigh. Find some more space in your spine as you breathe in. And then we're going to take Prasarita, your wide-legged straddle. Ragdoll your arms here. Find a little sway. Call a little bit of ease into your body. Alternately, if ragdoll arms doesn't feel great, you can keep the hands down and bend into one knee and then the other. We're to keep our straddle, but release the fingers down. Find some more length in the spine. Again, sit bones reach back, crown of the head reaches forward. So your torso is parallel to the floor. Tent your right fingers underneath your heart. Lift your left arm up and open. Keep anchoring into your right foot. Breathe in for that stretch toward the back of your space. And then sweep the hands to the top of the mat. Drop your back knee down. Find a supported crescent lunge as you sweep the arms up overhead. In your supported crescent lunge, bend your elbows to a goalpost shape. Feel the shoulders melting down your back. So I actually like more of a W shape in my arms also. So goalpost would be here, W is here. I feel my shoulders can move down toward that retracted and depressed, like lowered point in their range of motion. So shoulders can protract, which is like rounding through the back. They can retract, squeeze toward the spine. You can try these with me. They can elevate, maybe you reach the arms up, let your shoulders lift toward your ears, and they can depress, pulling down toward the backside, the bottom backside of your ribs. On an inhale, interlace your hands at your lower back, give the knuckles a little tug, keep the sides of the neck and the throat long, and then lean forward as you straighten out that front leg, just until you feel another hamstring stretch for your right leg. You can turn the right toes up toward the ceiling. A couple nice long breaths in through your nose. You can exhale through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels most natural. We're going to release the bind and come all the way into a high crescent lunge. Back toes are tucked, left knee lifts as you reach your arms up over your head. Stay here, take a breath in, and then plant the hands, step straight to downward facing dog as you breathe out. So that's one option for a vinyasa. If your shoulders, your arms, or your wrists start to feel fatigued. Let's try that on the left. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to your nose, step it through. High dragonfly, keep your right knee lifted as you sweep your left arm open. Again, reach the crown of the head away from your sternum as you press that left hip crease back. Breathe in. Prasarita, ragdoll arms, or some other variation that feels right in your body right now. Our bodies have so much wisdom. Sometimes we need some stillness. Sometimes we need some movement. Oftentimes it's a little bit of both. Release the ragdoll arms if you took them. Left hand tense right underneath your heart space. Reach the right arm up and open. Keep pressing back evenly through your sit bones. Breathe in. And then sweep the hands to the top of the mat. Drop the back knee, supported crescent lunge. Arms up on an in-breath. Bend your elbows as you exhale. Interlace your hands, but try and put the opposite pinky finger on the outside this time. It'll feel a little funky. Breathe in. And then bound hamstring stretch, bound Hanumanasana. Bow forward with or without the bind. You can always release the bind and frame your front leg for some support with your fingers. One more long breath in, remembering that intention, whatever it is that you need for your practice to take care of yourself here. Stay for the exhale, release the bind, high crescent lunge. Big inhale, pull your belly button toward your lower back as you look up. Plant the hands and then step or flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathing in. Down dog is that breath out. On an inhale, look forward and lift your heels. And then take a big step or maybe a hop to the top of the mat. Halfway stretch, breathe in. You can wing your arms or you can push into your shins. Fold forward on your breath out. Go all the way up, big full body stretch on the in-breath. Keep your legs straight. Bend your elbows as you exhale. Interlace your hands, come into chair with a bind, breathing in. And then bow forward, let go. Release the bind, take a breath in. Plant the hands, step or float back through your vinyasa. Or go straight to down dog or pause in child's pose. See how true you can be to yourself in your flow. Right leg goes up on an in-breath. We're going to add on to our flow. Bring your knee to your nose and then step it through between your thumbs. Right arm opens, breathe in. Prasarita as you breathe out. Pick up the left arm right away. Find your twist on the in-breath. And then sweep the hands to the top, maybe hands free, right into high crescent this time. Reach long through your arms or bring your hands to your heart on your inhale. And then let's prayer twist to the right. Left elbow is going to hook outside of that front thigh. Feel that you're energetically pulling the hips toward one another. And then drawing your belly button away from your front thigh, using your abdominal strength to find a little bit of support for your balance here. Still rooting down to the balls of your feet. You got it. One more long breath in. Stay in the twist as you empty. We're gonna come into star pose on the in-breath. Reach up and expand. And then horse pose on the exhale. From horse, see if you can keep your shoulders over your hips. So you're standing up nice and tall, and then push the hips forward slightly. We're gonna do a pinwheel arm action. So bring the right hand, the palm, to facing the back of the head. And then the left hand, it's almost like a bind, but instead of actually binding, we're gonna keep the fingers just a little bit apart. And then switch that out. Go side to side. Little pinwheel action for the arms, for the shoulders. Try not to lean forward, not to tuck the chin. So really tall back so that your arms have to clear the back of your head here for 3. Keep going for 2. And 1. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath in, sit a little bit lower as you exhale. Back to star on the in-breath. Warrior 2 to the back of your mat. You take a moment to find your foundation. Your left toes are pointing toward the back of the space. Kneecap of your left is pointing toward your second or third left toe. Let's flip the back palm to face upward. And then roll your left shoulder forward as much as you can as you roll your right shoulder back as far as you can. And then swap that out. So the whole arm is moving. The ribs might move a little bit, but try and feel that this movement is mostly coming from your shoulder blade, your scapula, through your whole arm. So through the bones of your arms, your wrists, your hands. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to keep the front palm flipped upward. Reverse warrior on an in-breath. And then extended side angle. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm reaches up and overhead. We've got just about 3 deep breaths here. Some of you might want to bind that top arm if that feels good in your shoulders. We're going to take it into a little bit of a new flow from here. So reach your right arm forward when you're ready. Meet me here, breathe in. Both hands are going to come inside of that left foot. Spin your right heel up. So you're on your right tippy toes. Spider-Man push-up. Press forward with your chest, lower halfway down. And then press into your hands, straighten your arms, straighten the left leg, lift the left toes so you're on your left heel. It's kind of like pyramid pose, but we've got a lot of space here. Go back to that Spider-Man push-up. Rebend the left knee, bend your elbows back and maybe slightly out to the sides. Let's do that again. Straighten out the left leg as you push your hips back. One more time. Stay here. Breathe in. Spider-Man as you breathe out. Drop your right knee down. We're going to find a side plank, lifting the left limbs. So the left arm comes up, left leg lifts up. And a side plank variation here. Grow long through the left side body. You can point the left toes even toward the space that was the front. Breathe in. Left knee and left elbow. Squeeze those 2 points together. Use your inhale to reach apart and your exhale to pull elbow to knee. One more time like that. Breathe in. Elbow to knee as you breathe out. Let's take the leg and the arm long. Keep the left leg long, but drop the left foot down. And then we're going to find a side plank, lifting the right knee, bringing that right foot back behind the left. So you're on the edges of your feet here. Breathe in. Left arm is reaching. This time we're going to bring right knee to left elbow. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Option to catch your right foot, the outsides of your right foot with your left hand, and extend that right leg out for 5. Woo. 4, support yourself here with your core. 3, remind yourself you're strong. Last 2, we're going to release that right foot back behind the left. Breathe in. And then high push up facing the back of the mat. In high plank, slowly lower all the way down. Use your knees if you'd like. Once your forehead taps the mat, keep your eyes pointing downward. Bring your hands, both of them, behind your head. Last shoulder drill. Push your hands gently into your head and your head gently into your hands. The neck is long. And then we're just going to reach the arms out to the side, flip the palms as you bring your hands, the backs of your hands toward your low back. If you need to take a peek at the screen, go for it. We're just gonna move between these two, moving the shoulders. Keep taking those nice long breaths in, slow breaths out. So the breath is our prana, moving that energy around the body. Then next time your hands are at the back of your head, lift the elbows high. Elbows go high, 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 high. Push into the tops of the feet. Push your hips down. Breathe in. Release the hands. Child's pose as you exhale. Stay in child's pose just for a cleansing reset breath. In through your nose. Breathe into the back of your ribs. Open mouth. Exhale. Pull forward, cow pose. We're gonna move through that on the other side on the in-breath. Down dog on the exhale. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Knee to nose as you breathe out, step it through. Pick up your left arm, inhale. Sweep it through to Prasarita as you exhale, the right arm lifts. Breathe in to the back of the mat, high crescent. Inhale as you reach. Prayer twist, right elbow outside of the left thigh. Take a couple nice deep breaths here, pressing your left hand down into your right to find that rotation. Try and keep the twist happening from your belly button upward so the hips stay strong and square. Big breath in. Stay here as you breathe out. Star pose on the inhale, reach up. Horse pose on the exhale, drop down. Catch one of your wrists, press your palms away from you. I'll turn to the side. Round your spine, so you're catting your back. Tuck the tailbone, tuck your chin. And then we're gonna do the opposite. Cactus or goal post your arms, tip the tail back, cow your spine as you exhale. Catch the other wrist, inhale, cat back, tail tucks, knit your belly button to your low back. Exhale, cow spine. Inhale, reach your arms up for star. Warrior two to the front. Holy smokes. All right, is this just hard for me or is it hard for everyone? Let's turn that back palm up, front palm down, and then rotate as much as you can. On this side, try not to overthink it a bunch. Feel the eye of your elbow, the inner edge of the elbow, twirling as far in each direction as it safely can. For three. We're going to keep the right palm facing up in two. Drop into your lunge, reverse your warrior on your in-breath. Extended side angle, three nice big breaths. Just a quick note on extended side angle, a lot of folks play with a bind, right? Bringing their hands behind that front thigh. If that's you, great, but notice what's going on in your shoulders. If you start to collapse forward, it might be an idea that you just bring that single arm bind into your practice. You can keep the chest spinning open, push your hips toward the left side of your space. Meet me here in extended side angle, breathe in. Both hands come down inside of your right foot, spin onto the back tippy toes, and then bend your elbows. Here in your Spider-Man push-up, deloading some of the effort of the shoulders into your front foot and your front leg. Probably want to keep your right knee pointing straight forward here to start. On an inhale, push into your hands, straighten the right leg, lift up onto the right heel for your pyramid variation. On an exhale, back into your Spider-Man push-up, right knee bends and points straight forward. Again, inhale, pyramid variation. Last time, exhale, Spider-Man push-up, drop the left knee, side plank, right limbs reach up. Whew. Breathe here for a moment, if only just to let me catch my breath so I can keep cueing. Nice long inhale, maybe you point the right toes as if you could lengthen that right thigh bone away from your hip socket. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Two more times, breathe in and breathe out. One more, right knee and right elbow, and then we'll do right knee and left elbow. Inhale, take it long, keep the right arm lifted, but drop that right foot down at the back of the mat, and then bring your left foot to the back of your mat behind your right, so right foot's in front of left. Breathe in, right elbow, left knee, maybe you catch the outside of your left foot with your right hand, and extend it toward the right, or even start to work your left foot toward the ceiling for 5, Coach yourself, tell yourself that you're strong. 4, remind yourself that you're doing this for your physical and mental well-being. 3, 2, high side plank on your left hand, breathe in. High push-up, stay here as you breathe out and shift forward. We're gonna lower onto the elbows. So you're in a forearm plank. Little different energy in the shoulders. Round the shoulder blades away from your spine here. For 3, we're gonna move through that sequence in 2. And 1, start by dropping your knees down. Bring your hands to your thighs. Let's take a little breather. Let the energy settle. Notice where the prana is like really bright in your body. And where maybe the shoulders perhaps are feeling a little bit fatigued. And then as we move through that flow, 1 breath, 1 motion, see what you can do to balance your effort with a sense of ease. So sometimes we need every single posture, we need every single chaturanga, and sometimes we need a lot more child's pose or modifications. Most of the time we land somewhere between those 2 extremes. And what that means is we have an obligation to stay as present as possible to our body's insight, to our own wisdom and intuition. Bring your hands back to your heart. Remind yourself of that intention. Breathe in. Open your mouth and let it go. Blink your eyes open if they were closed. Meet me in downward facing dog. We're going to put that together from the very top of the mat, adding a little bit in. Lift your heels, empty the breath completely. Step or hop your feet between your thumbs. Halfway stretch, big breath in. Fold forward, little squeeze, chest to thighs. Rise all the way up on the in-breath. Bend your elbows, keep your legs straight as you exhale. Chair pose, bend your knees, sweep your arms forward, breathe in. And then prayer twist to the right, left elbow outside of the right thigh. Stay here just for 1 cycle of breath. Find length in your spine on the inhale and then push your top hand into your bottom hand as you exhale. Come back to center chair, or you have the option to straighten your legs as you breathe in. Twist to the left as you breathe out. Take 1 cycle of breath in. Stay here, push top hand into bottom hand as you breathe out. Back to the center on the in-breath. Keep your knees bent, cactus your arms on your exhale. Interlace your hands, take a big breath in, broaden out the collarbones and fronts of your ribs, and then bow forward with that bind. Release the bind, halfway stretch, breathe in. Plant your hands, step or hop it back. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Remember, you can take child's pose. Here we go, right leg high on an in-breath. Knee to nose, step in between the thumbs as you exhale. Right arm, breathe open. Prasarita, empty out. Pick up your left arm, breath in. Sweep the hands to the top of the mat, or maybe hands-free transition. High crescent, reach up on the in-breath. Prayer twist as you empty. Stay for a cycle of breath. Reach the crown of the head forward. Twist a little bit deeper. Star pose on the inhale. Horse pose on the exhale. Back to star right away, breathe in. Warrior 2 to the back of your mat. Reverse, inhale. Extended side angle as you empty. Find length through your right side body, especially the arm, breathe in. Hands inside of your left foot, come to the right tippy toes, bend your elbows as you breathe out for Spider-Man. Inhale, straighten the arms and straighten the front leg. 2 more Spider-Mans. Exhale, bend your elbows, heart pulls forward. Again, breathe in. Spider-Man to lowering that right knee. Left limbs lift up and open on the in-breath. Elbow to knee as you exhale. 2 more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, elbow to knee. I think we did 3. Take that leg and arm long. Drop the left foot down. Right leg lengthen so you're in your side plank. Breathe in. Left elbow, right knee, give it a squeeze. Keep the elbow and the knee connected as you rotate your chest down toward the mat, hovering your left hand just an inch up off of the mat for 3. For 2, high push-up on 1 to low push-up. Holy smokes, up dog, breathe in. We've got one more side to go. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're on the left leg. Inhale it up. Exhale, step through. Left arm, breathe in. Prasarita, breath out. Pick up the right arm, inhale. To the back, maybe hands-free transition. High crescent, reach. Twist to your left. Breath in. Stay for the breath out. Star pose on the inhale. Horse pose, take it low on the exhale. Back to star, 2 more. Exhale, horse, maybe a little deeper. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Star pose is the inhale. Warrior 2 to the front. Reverse, breath in. Extended side angle on that exhale. Find some length through your left side body on the in-breath. Exhale, hands down, left heel spins, bend your elbows, exhale. So straighten the arms and the right leg, breathe in. Bend the elbows and the right knee, breathe out. Again, inhale. Last Spider-Man, exhale, left knee goes down, right limb sweep up. Breathe in for real, just 3 times, right knee and right elbow. Inhale, stretch. Don't speed it up. Exhale, squeeze, keep it strong. Breathe in. Last time, breathe out. Everything lengthens. Keep the right arm lifted. Lower the right leg down. Left leg stretches back behind the right. Big breath in. Elbow to knee. Keep the elbow and knee as close to connected as you can. As you start to spin your chest downward, the right palm is facing the mat, but it's hovering. For 3, maybe you come up onto the ball of the right foot, right heel lifts toward the ceiling. 2, and 1, high push up. Big breath in, keep the right hand down. Side plank, lift the left arm up. This is it, breathe in. Chaturanga or high push up as you breathe out. And back up, side plank to the right, inhale. High plank or low push up, exhale. 1 more in each direction, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. High to low push-up. Drop the knees down so you're hovering in that low push-up. For 5, lengthen through the sides of the neck. Relax the jaw. 3, tell yourself you're strong. 2, and lower it down. Like a little pillow for your forehead by stacking the hands or the wrists or the forearms. Just to be really clear, you're strong, whether you did that whole flow or not. So much of life happens off of our mat, so much of our effort, so much of our energy ends up being used on other things that we value and care about, and that is a beautiful thing. So we do this practice really in a large part just to remind ourselves of how strong and capable we are. So no matter how your practice unfolded, remind yourself you're enough, strong. When you're ready, prop yourself up into Sphinx pose, bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders. You can separate your feet a little bit wider than mat's distance, perhaps. You might gently wiggle your hips side to side, release anything in your pelvis or your lower back. We didn't do tons and tons of hips today, but still has a tendency to get a little bit tight when we're using our legs to support ourselves. And we want that sweet spot between tight enough for support and stability, but relaxed enough to feel that sense of fluidity, that ease. Go ahead and take some really slow, gentle movement of the head and the neck here. You relax the jaw, maybe open the mouth gently and move the hinges of the jaw around. When you're ready, go ahead and meet me on your back. Draw the knees into your chest. Bring your palms to your kneecaps. And then just circle the knees around. Be really small little circles. Move around really in any way that feels good for the lower back. When you're ready, step your feet down underneath your knees. Maybe you bring your feet just a little bit wider than hips distance. Bring your arms down by your side with your palms facing downward. And then feel your palms pushing into the floor. Feel your feet pushing into the floor. Tuck your tailbone just a little bit and then lift your hips like 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, maybe 5, but not going for maximal lift here. So you're just in a small range of a bridge. Lower your hips till they're hovering above the mat and then lift right back up. So stay in that little small range, lots of glute activation in that lower half of this movement for 3, for 2. Lower all the way down. Let the knees drop inward. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Walk your feet a little closer together. And then come back up into a higher bridge this time and hold. Push into your feet. Roll back onto your shoulders, sending your chest toward your chin, but moving the crown of the head away from your breastbone. Stay here. Or bring your hands underneath your shoulders with your fingers pointing toward your heels and your elbows pointing toward the ceiling. Push into your finger pads. Maybe you lift up onto the crown of the head here. Do a little check-in. Be really honest with yourself about how your shoulders feel here. If they feel great, then you load the shoulders by pushing into the hands and lifting your head. So maybe you're in wheel, maybe you're in bridge, maybe you're on your back. Wherever you are, take deep breaths to connect to your prana. Circular breathing, so there's no pause right now between the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. You're just breathing in, and as soon as you finish that in-breath, start your exhale. As soon as you finish your exhale, start your inhale. For 3, soften your eyes. 2, see if you can brighten up and lift. Breathe in. Slowly, little by little, rewind, lowering down, articulating every segment of your spine. Once your hips drop, release your arms to your side, drop your knees together. Take a couple breaths without trying to do anything, without trying to let go even. Just let your body do its thing. And when you're ready from here, you can bring your arms to a goalpost or a T shape. Walk your feet all the way together, knees all the way together, and then move your knees just an inch or 2 in each direction. So stay really small with this movement to start. Stay in the frame of your yoga mat, maybe even in the frame of your hips. Continue to take those nice breaths in and out, maybe allowing your exhales to be open mouthed. Letting your nervous system come down, perhaps starting to increase the range of motion if it's feeling welcome in your hips. So we did a lot in this practice today. I'm going to set up for a final spinal twist, your choice. I'm going to opt for bringing the left knee over the right knee and then swiveling the hips over to the left before I let the knees drop to the right. Do whatever makes sense with your left arm. You can cactus it, goalpost it. You might keep your nose pointing up at the ceiling, or you might nod your chin toward your left shoulder. Try and keep the neck long. And when you're ready, bring your head back through the center. Breathe in. And then draw the knees back through the center. Untangle the legs. Pause for a moment. Take a breath in and out. So that pausing in between sides is really nice for the nervous system. When you're ready, set up your twist on the other side. So it's kind of like in life, we often work those extremes, right? We swing that pendulum from one side all the way to the other. It can be a little bit jarring, understandably. And for our nervous system, coming back to center is going to be that thing that creates a sense of stability and security. You can think about like attachment styles, right? Like a child coming back to its guardian after it's explored a little bit to just reset. In the same way, we can do these challenging postures, and then we need to come back to some semblance of ease in the body to send the message to ourselves that we can trust ourselves to push those boundaries when we're resourced, because we know we're going to allow time to recover and repair and rest. When you're ready, you can come through the center. If there's any other shapes that you need for your practice to feel complete, go ahead and add those in. And then when you're ready, find some sort of resting shape, Shavasana, with the legs long and the arms by your side. You can also lie on your back or lie on your belly or take your legs up a wall. And just allow your body to melt. Let your muscles release. Give yourself this gift of quietness and stillness as a way to create a sense of balance and harmony for your nervous system. And stay here, just listening for my voice to close our practice together shortly. If you happen to have more time, you can shut off the recording and linger in your Shavasana for longer, really soak it in. And still just another moment. Bring some awareness into the tips of your fingers and then start to move the tip of your thumb over the tips of your other fingers. So the texture of your fingerprints, maybe the warmth of your skin, your fingers moist or dry. And start to deepen your breath. Stretch your legs out on the mat in front of you. Interlace your fingers once more, but press the palms away from you. So long body stretch. Drink in a big inhale here. And then let it go. And take your time to meet me in a seat. And then you land, bring your hands back to your heart. And then once more, you can remind yourself how strong you are, or if there's any other reminder that you need. Allow yourself to move through your day with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more certainty, a little bit more ease. And once you've stated that affirmation, bring your thumbs to your forehead. Gentle bow of the chin to the chest as we say together, Namaste. Thanks for taking care of yourself. I hope that this practice felt good to you. I hope your shoulders feel nice and strong and mobile. Hope to see you again real soon.